I thought we were just recording it.
I'm recording it right now.
Oh,
legitimately. Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, welcome to the first ever wrestling review of Kaufmans.
This has been a great intro. Alright, not only is this our first wrestling review, I think this is our first video. It's actually going to go up on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to give a quick description. Kaufmans is a YouTube channel where we will be playing mainly wrestling games. There'll also be UFC, GTA.
Anything else, pretty much.
Star Wars, yeah. But it's mainly a wrestling YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Right here, I am Andrew. Alongside me, there is Jordan. Say hi, Jordan. I don't know why you waved.
Damn it.
There will be other people, but they are not important enough for this first video of amazingness.
Yep.
Now, wrestling reviews aren't that hard to come by these days. There's a lot of them. But it's always of like Raw and SmackDown that past week. So what a better way to start off than with Starrcade 98.
Okay, that's 98.
Yeah, it was 98. Went to the WWE Network and we picked a random pay-per-view from WCW.
And what a better one to do than Starrcade 98.
It was a great pay-per-view. So
Did you say that?
No.
Alright then.
It was not that great. There were 9 matches on the card. So no tag title match, but should we just get started then?
I think we should just go right into it.
Alright. The show opened up with a promo for the main event, although the promo had nothing to do with Kevin Nash, and it was just looking up and down Goldberg as he was meanly glaring at us.
Goldberg just doing Goldberg things.
Yep.
How he randomly got to 173 wins within, let's say, 4 months he was on the roster? I don't remember.
My WCW timeline is not that great, but
I know not all of this time was that great.
But we'll get on to that later as we review a WWF pay-per-view in the future.
God.
But, so yeah, Starrcade opened up with a promo. Just staring down Goldberg. And then we come in with the announcers, bringing us into the pay-per-view, letting us know that in tonight's match, the 4 Horsemen have been arrested.
All of them?
Yes.
Nope, not all of them.
Not apparently, Ric Flair.
No, not only that. Apparently, Mongo was just being carried away at that same time.
Yes, the 4 Horsemen, Chris Benoit, Arn Anderson, got arrested on Nitro. But Mongo
somehow made it out of all of them.
Yes, Mongo made it to the arena, and then he got arrested at the arena.
Yay,
so they all
Mongo.
are arrested, but Mongo made it the longest out of them.
What a shock.
Then after that, we had Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, and Scott Steiner doing a pre-recorded promo about an up-and-coming show. Obviously, I see it on the look on Jordan's face. Jordan does not remember. Right after the intro, we had the announcers talking about the show, and then we had another video package for a show on a later date. And the guys advertising it were Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, and Scott Steiner. And what a better video. Those guys can convince me to go. I'm
already convinced.
And then we had Mean Gene Okerlund come out on the stage and talk about the hotline option, which you can call to talk about. I forgot what he wanted us to talk about, but it had really nothing to do with any of the matches tonight.
Yeah, he just wanted us to talk about what was our favorite WCW wrestler of all time, I think. Yeah. Something insane like that.
So the show this was the 4th segment. There are the 4 things that happened, and none of them were matches. There was the intro, there was the announcers, there was a pre-recorded promo, there was Mean Gene talking about the hotline. Nice
shilling right there from Mean Gene. That we definitely wanted to call. And bust out that $1.65 for the toll. $1.65. $1.65 a minute just to talk about beautiful old WCW.
Not even to talk to a wrestler, to talk to Mean Gene. Not that Mean Gene is bad, but
God, I don't want to talk to any other member of the hotline. I'd rather just talk to Mean Gene.
Yeah. Alright. But then things got better as the opening match was a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight title. Champion Billy Kidman defended against LWO member Juventud Guerrero. Guerrero, that is right. He is not a Guerrero. And,
Rey Mysterio.
Yes, Rey Mysterio, too.
Rey Mysterio Jr. was there, along with future Filthy Animals member Billy Kidman.
Yes, Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. Now, this was a great 15-minute opener, actually. The match started by Juventud slapping Rey Mysterio and Kidman, and then Rey Mysterio and Kidman just beat the shit out of Juventud.
Like most people would.
Yep, Juventud, that asshole who thought that he was on the level of Rock and Austin.
Yep. When you think of Rock and Austin, you definitely go, Juventud.
I always think of Juventud myself. Every minute of the day I go, Juventud Guerrero.
What a man.
Well, what a guy. The match had a lot of good moments. At one point, Kidman had Rey Mysterio up for the Doomsday device. Juventud was on the top rope. Juventud went for a cross body, but Rey Mysterio rolled up Kidman into a schoolboy. So, Juventud went crashing down to the mat. Kidman was able to stop from rolling all the way. He caught Rey Mysterio, brought him back up, and threw him on top of Juventud, who was on the mat. So, a pretty good spot. Then there was a confusing moment when the referee was counting as all three men were laying down. Yes. I don't really know what was going to happen there. Two men stood up and one guy was down for the count of 10.
He's just down.
So is he not allowed in the match, or is it one-on-one now, or can he just get back up after 10 seconds?
Nope. He just disappears.
I guess let's say if Juventud was standing up and both Kidman and Mysterio were down, even though that's still not how the match works, that would make more sense.
Leave it to Mysterio and Kidman?
Yes. Now, what if all three men were down for the count of 10, and who would have won the title?
Jushin Liger.
Sure.
Alright, then.
Now, what else happened? Juventud dove from the top rope, doing a pretty nice moonsault onto Rey Mysterio and Kidman. Juventud, despite being an egotistical asshole, is actually a pretty good wrestler. There was one point in the match where Kidman had Mysterio for the Doomsday device again. A very go back to spot, I guess.
Yeah.
And Juventud was on the outside, and he sprung board back into the ring, and he did a Hurricane Rana onto Rey from Kidman's shoulder. That was pretty impressive by the three men to be able to pull that off. I guess Kidman didn't do much except stand there.
Yeah.
But it was pretty impressive by Rey Mysterio and Juventud to be able to do that.
What do you need more from Kidman? He's Kidman.
We'll talk about our wrestlers after we talk about the match. We'll talk about how we feel about the guys in the match after we talk about the actual match itself.
Alright.
There's some other cool spots. Like, Rey hit a moonsault from the apron to Kidman and Juventud on the outside. Rey Mysterio's left foot hit the camera, which probably sucked considering that it's Rey Mysterio's left side.
And then Rey Mysterio's left knee.
Yep. Poor Rey Mysterio can just not go through a match without injuring himself. He's injured again.
Really?
Yeah, I think I read recently that he just got injured and he's off a show coming up soon. AJ Styles is also injured, but that's a different story.
He was injured at this time in 1998.
1998. AJ Styles, I don't know what Ring of Honor is going to do now with AJ Styles, since he was in the main event of their next pay-per-view against Jay Lethal. I don't know if he'll be back for the,
Put Jay Lethal against Nakamura.
I'm fine with that. Okay, so we should probably get back to WCW.
It's really easy to get off track from WCW.
It really is. The finish was Eddie Guerrero came out, and he tried to distract the referee.
Like cheating still.
Yes. And he rolled... Hold on. And he rolled Hoovy on top of Kidman. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Why are you looking at your phone?
I was looking at this, at the inside of it.
Why? Is that much more entertaining than WCW?
Yes.
This was a good opener.
It was, but it's WCW, so it's really easy to put anything they want to put out on the back burner.
Fine. So, Billy Kidman had rolled up Juventud. The referee was distracted by Rey Mysterio for some reason, even though there are no disqualifications and triple threat matches, so I don't get the point of having the referee distracted.
Yep.
So, Eddie Guerrero ran in the ring and rolled Juventud on top of Kidman. He rolled out of the ring thinking he helped Juventud win, but Rey Mysterio ran in the ring and drop-kicked Juventud in the face. And Kidman rolled back on top of Juventud and got the win. I don't know why Mysterio didn't try to break it up so Mysterio could try to win, but Billy Kidman had retained the title. Oh, and a really good opener, all three men. Proved that they were great wrestlers.
Yeah.
Only one of them would go on to have a notable career, really.
I'm sorry. Kidman or Mysterio, because which one has the more notable... Never mind.
Rey Mysterio obviously became on the most successful. Billy Kidman became fat. And Juventud Guerrero got fired for being an ass.
Billy Kidman got married to Tori Wilson.
And he also got fat. And now he's Tori Wilsonless.
Anyway, next match.
Alright. But how did you feel about that match?
I tried to go past it because what you said about Billy Kidman.
I know you're... Yeah, let's talk. Why are you such a big Billy Kidman fan? I, too, like Billy Kidman, but I don't think I like him as much as you do. I don't think if anyone likes Billy Kidman as much as you do.
Alright, you want to know I'm a really big Billy Kidman fan?
I think the millions of viewers would love to know.
The millions of people that are watching this, like the one.
That'll be Damien.
I'm a really big Billy Kidman fan because I just am. I don't have a real reason to like Billy Kidman. I just always like Billy Kidman.
What's your favorite Billy Kidman moment?
My favorite Billy Kidman moment is when he won the Cruiserweight title at Survivor Series 2002? 3.
Possibly.
It was where the first chamber was at.
Yeah, that was 2002.
Alright.
His match was, I think it was Jamie Noble.
Yes.
And it was a good match. We may eventually review Survivor Series 2002.
We've already watched it.
But we haven't reviewed it.
Oh, whoa! Alright.
Alright. Then after the match, Eddie Guerrero yelled at Juventud and Rey Mysterio for being fucking morons and not being able to win a match. He called Rey Mysterio...
I want to say this right now. Something I noticed. Why is the hell is Eddie Guerrero yelling at Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio wasn't even part of the LWO?
Well, Rey Mysterio was somewhat a part of the LWO, but like he was starting to leave.
Animals.
The Filthy Animals hadn't really started this time because Conan was still in the Wolfpack.
But they were still going out by the same theme song, so it was like you assume that Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio were already teaming up together.
I think that Rey Mysterio was somewhat in the LWO too. He was with them at some times, and then he wasn't really with them sometimes. I don't know. WCW. So, Eddie Guerrero yelled at Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrero, called them morons, said they were pieces of shit who couldn't win a match against Billy Kidman. He called out Billy Kidman to challenge him for the Cruiserweight title. He called Billy Kidman a cream puff, a pretty boy, and a sissy, and a dweeb.
All words that some people would describe to Billy Kidman. I describe him as a hero.
A hero to the many of Jordans. Just like Bob Holly. But that's a story for a different day.
Alright.
So, Billy Kidman came out with his Billy Kidman face. And
his pretty boy Billy Kidman face.
I don't really know if his face bothered me that segment. It looked weird.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like long. Drawn out. Alright, whatever. So Billy Kidman, I like Billy Kidman, talented wrestler. But he came out and he accepted Eddie Guerrero's challenge. It was another great match by Billy Kidman on the show. Second match, good match. You think that their two first matches were great matches. You would think that would continue later on in the show. It did not.
Wrong.
As a card after this match would get pretty boring for a while.
I fell asleep.
Yes,
we both did.
Yeah, we had to watch this pay-per-view over a 2-day period because it took too much out of us. Alright, so Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Billy Kidman and Eddie Guerrero.
Easily confused.
Yeah, those guys look alike. Mexicans.
Wow. I think you were about to say it. I was like, are you going to say it? Say it. Say it.
They probably knew what I was going for, so I couldn't just not go with it. So yeah, Billy Kidman put on a second great match of the night with Eddie Guerrero. Billy Kidman's obviously a great wrestler. Eddie Guerrero's one of the best wrestlers, so it's not that hard to get a good match out of the two. The story was that Juventud stayed down and helped out Eddie Guerrero. Rey Mysterio stayed down and helped out Kidman. And one of the points, Eddie Guerrero had an octopus stretching on Billy Kidman and
Dilly?
Who?
You said Dilly Kidman.
Dilly Kidman. Sissy Kidman. Cream boy, cream puff Kidman. Fuck Billy Kidman.
Oh.
So he had the octopus stretch on fucking Kidman, and he used Juventud to like pull through the ropes to give him extra leverage, I guess. That's how that works. And Rey Mysterio kept breaking it up the 2 times that they tried it, so Eddie Guerrero got mad in front of Billy Kidman. Juventud hit Billy Kidman later on in the match, running from the referee, and the referee just said, "Oh, fuck it, I don't give a shit."
Referee's not giving a fuck tonight.
Right, tonight, that's WCW.
Yeah.
Referees don't ever give a damn. There's no really point in referees in
WCW. You just need the crowd to count 3.
Well, they could be biased. I don't trust the WCW crowd to count up to 3.
I don't trust them to even count.
Especially all at once. It'd be like 1. By the time one guy gets to 3, a crowd would just be starting at 1.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking trust them. Eddie hit Billy Kidman with his steel-toed boot because Eddie Guerrero came out and was not ready for this match. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt compared to what Billy Kidman was wearing.
Which was,
a t-shirt and short jeans. Eddie Guerrero. Obviously at the disadvantage as longer jeans put you in a harder to wrestle position.
Not like anyone else we know nowadays that wears jeans and a tank top.
But do they have as much success as the one man that we know that wears short jeans, as in John Cena?
I don't know. I was comparing
Jamie Noble.
I was comparing Dean Ambrose, actually.
I'm comparing John Cena and Jamie Noble to Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. You know, for Billy Kidman and Eddie Guerrero on that, make it a 6-man tag.
That sounds amazing.
It does. Where was I? Something about this match. Ray. There was a spot in the match where Rey Mysterio was just standing next to Juventud Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio had Juventud Guerrero. Damn. And Rey Mysterio had Eddie's steel-toed shoe in the match, and he bopped Juventud in the head with the shoe, and Juventud just stared at him and did nothing about it, and then they just kept standing there. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm talking more, that I know more about these matches, because I do. Jordan didn't really pay attention that much.
It's WCW.
Alright. The finish came when Eddie had Kidman on the top rope. Kidman pushed him down on another one of the LWO members. I couldn't tell who the hell it was. Don't know him. Came down and he distracted the referee. Juventud Guerrero jumped up and hit Kidman, so Kidman fell with his balls landing on the turnbuckle. Tori Wilson must have not been happy that night. Well, maybe she was happy. Maybe she's getting sick of Kidman at this point. Who knows? Too much Kidman's not good. But just enough Kidman's great. So, Rey Mysterio climbed to the top rope again to try to hit Kidman with a nice move. And Rey Mysterio! But Eddie Guerrero jumped to the top rope, not Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
And Rey Mysterio came up and he pushed Eddie. And Eddie fell with his balls landing on the top rope. And then he fell down and Billy Kidman hit a shooting star press to retain his title for the second time in one night.
Billy Kidman showing why he deserved to fight Hulk Hogan in the main event of a pay-per-view.
Well, we're not at that pay-per-view yet. We're only at 98. I don't know
I
what
don't
you're
give
talking
a fuck.
about. We are not ahead of the times. Look at that poster. It doesn't spoil anything for later on in the night.
No, it doesn't.
But the first two matches, if it did anything, proved by the Cruiserweight World.
My gum out.
My fucking god. You gotta do this right in the middle of the goddamn review.
You might as well just call me Mr. fucking Anderson.
Why?
Because I have to spit my gum out.
Is Mr. Anderson the only wrestler to ever spit gum? I'm pretty sure there was a wrestler who spit it up and then hit it, which is a lot cooler than what fucking Anderson does.
Well, no, I'm talking about talking with my... You know what, fuck it.
Fuck.
This is badly.
I want to try to compare Mr. Anderson to Mr. Perfect. Except the Misters. And they both have gum, and they're both bleach blonde. But that's really where it ends. Mr. Perfect's better.
Yeah. I'm not saying he wasn't.
I don't think anyone would make that argument.
You know
and Mr. Anderson was better than Mr. Perfect.
Alright, give me his shit back.
Alright. So we move on from that match to a promo for Nash versus Goldberg with them fighting in heaven.
Yes!
As they were fighting in heaven, it showed them brawling and there were clouds all around them and holy music started playing.
Yeah, I mean, this is a match of the holy beings right here. Kevin Nash, somebody just compare him to Jesus with that long flowing hair.
I would compare him to Jesus all the time.
And Goldberg with that bald head, you might as well just call him God. Anyway.
Jordan dropped the ball with that joke.
Shut up.
Alright, then we had the third match of the evening was Norman Smiley versus Prince Iaukea.
What a match.
And I like Norman Smiley, very entertaining guy.
He is.
But there was no real highlight to this match except for it going forever. This match was very slow. Oh my god. This match was very slow. It was very long. The only highlight was that Norman Smiley did the wiggle to the delightment of the fans, I guess.
Yes, Magic Norman Smiley.
I forgot who won.
Norman Smiley.
Yeah, Norman Smiley won with the crossface chicken wing. Well, Prince Iaukea is a former Cruiserweight and television champion.
I don't give a damn about Prince Iaukea.
Fuck you.
Fuck you! You gonna argue for these kids?
Yes. These kids being Damien and Justin, who
weren't
weren't invited.
And whoever else may stumble upon this treasure.
This great treasure. in 10 years and Kaufman has like a bajillion viewers, and then they're gonna go back to our first video and it's gonna be this.
And they're gonna all leave.
Yep. Alright. Then the man of WCW, not Goldberg, but the real man, the man who carried WCW on his drunken shoulder, Scott Hall, came out. What?
Nothing. I have nothing to say about that.
I was just giving a look. Scott Hall came out and he gave a promo about how 1997 was an awful year for him. No, 98 was an awful year.
What are you about the year before? 97 was shit. 98 was even more shit. 99's killing me, and I'm fucking depressed.
I guess this was supposed to be like a shoot-style promo where he came out and said that 98 was an awful year for him in the ring and outside the ring because he became a druggie and an alcoholic and he lost everything, including his son Cody, who will never get back and ever be a part of the Bullet Club. Club. Scott Hall also went clubbing that night. But thank fucking Jesus, because Scott Hall said that 1999 will be his year. Which we all know it was. The year of Scott Hall.
I was going to say, thank God Scott Hall had nothing else to do with this pay-per-view at all.
Nothing. We will not see Scott Hall again. Don't look at what?
Oh, I was talking about the pay-per-view, the poster.
Yeah, I know. I don't see anything involving Scott Hall there. I just see Goldberg, Nash, and a stun gun.
I guess Goldberg hit Nash with a stun gun neckbreaker, and they're like, oh, it's over.
Alright. Well, yeah, I guess. Well, we'll get to the main event later.
And like 6 more matches.
Then, after that promo, we had a video package. And it was Bam Bam Bigelow beating up Scott Hall in the back, which led to Kevin Nash fighting Bam Bam Bigelow in the back to save Scott Hall. And then Goldberg showed up. And it led to a triple threat first blood match on Nitro between Bam Bam, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg, which they never showed us the finish of.
Yeah, so I was like, wait a minute.
I like all 3 men involved. I would have liked to know who won that match. I don't really get what the promo was for. I was thinking that I was about to watch a Bam Bam Bigelow Scott Hall match, but then it turned to have nothing to do with Scott Hall.
Or Bam Bam, right?
Well, he was in a triple threat.
Oh.
Well, Bam Bam actually plays a role later on in the show. Something that I didn't even know about until I actually watched this pay-per-view. And so does Disco Inferno. I can't speak. Say his name.
Disco Inferno.
Yes, the dancing guy. He had a goose. Like the disco duck. Yeah, not a goose. The disco duck.
Alright.
Oh, God. Alright. Then we had the Cat with Sonny Ono versus Perry Saturn.
I'm the greatest. Dun, 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 dun.
The Cat is fucking amazing. Sonny Ono is also amazing. Perry Saturn
is dead, right?
I'll say he is. I don't have proof that he's still alive. Dean Malenko, the only living radical still alive.
Thank God.
Yes. But Ernest K. Miller, definitely a very fucking entertaining man.
Oh, yeah.
Sonny Ono, the man who invented selfies before they were invented.
Yes.
He invented them and then they were invented.
Oh.
So
does that mean Jericho did not invent that?
No, Jericho did not invent selfies. It was Sonny Ono. Fuck Jericho. But he'll be on the show later tonight.
No. He's giving away everything tonight.
I didn't... What, because I said Jericho's on the show, they automatically know what match he's in, who he's fighting, and who wins, and if it's possibly for a title?
You son of a bitch, you hit me! Fuck! This always happens!
I'm sorry, we got into a fight where we punched each other a couple times.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, so, Ernest K. Miller, very entertaining guy, very talented martial artist guy. And, there's Perry Saturn.
Perry Saturn.
Who is... Perry Saturn, he does not have a mop yet, which is a highlight of his career. Moppy, who went on to become MOP.
And dropped the song Annie Up.
Yep, and when he became famous, Perry Saturn lost his mind and a mop could become more famous than him, even though it's something we all knew could happen.
Yep.
So Perry Saturn got a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face and then died.
He got sued for it first.
Yep. But the match was alright, I guess. Oh wait, I wrote some highlights. I actually forgot about it. The first highlight of the match was Perry Saturn, really, and what he was wearing. What he was wearing was a chainmail vest, like this chainmail that Scott Steiner wore on his head, but it was a vest. He was wearing a red and white bandana and sunglasses, so he looked like the asshole idiot he is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, at the beginning of the match, the cat The cat, he can't. Ernest Miller did a spot where he counted to 5 with his back turned. And when he turned around, if Perry Saturn was still there, he'd beat Perry up. So he counted to 5 and he turned around and for the first time in wrestling history, the guy stayed. And Perry Saturn beat up Ernest the Cat Miller. Never happened in wrestling before.
Never.
By the way, Ernest the Cat Miller, very good at counting.
Yeah, some would say that 3 was not enough for him. He needed 5.
Oh, that's a different black man. But Ernest the Cat Miller...
Damn it.
Ernest the Cat Miller is a very entertaining guy. Even him counting to 5 had me entertained. And then I looked over and there was Perry Saturn. So I couldn't be that happy. Then there was another spot in the match where the cat left the ring. And Perry Cat Saturn is what I was about to say.
Boom.
Perry Saturn turned his back, and Ernest Miller tried to slide into the ring to get him, but he slid just short, and he stopped right in front of Perry, and Perry turned around and saw Ernest just laying down looking up at him, so Perry beat him up again.
That dastardly Perry Saturn always gotta fuck around with the cat.
Yeah. Perry Saturn, well, that was mainly the 2 highlights, and the other thing was the finish, which was... There wasn't much highlights of this match.
Oh.
Don't worry, I got the finish in.
Alright.
Sonny Ono wanted to kick Perry Saturn because who wouldn't want to beat up Perry Saturn?
I remember this now.
And the cat was holding up Perry. So Sonny went to kick him, but fucking shocker in wrestling, Perry Saturn moved and Sonny Ono kicked the cat. So the cat stood up and kicked Sonny Ono. And then Perry Saturn hit the cat with a Death Valley driver on 1.
DVDs.
DVD.
He sold a bunch of DVDs.
I don't believe that. I don't want to buy Perry Saturn DVD.
Superstar Collection.
Perry Saturn, Zack Ryder, Jordan Brown, the Superstar Collections.
Yep.
You can buy Jordan Brown's Superstar Collection on KaufmansHomeVideo.com.
That's not the name I go under at all.
Well, why are you saying... Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Elijah King. Or whatever your many names are. He has many names. Watch Developmental. No, you hit me. Alright, so... They put Perry Saturn over the cat. It was a sad day for all.
Yeah, that was the worst thing on this pay-per-view. That actually made me give this pay-per-view a rating.
Thank you. But then, after Perry Saturn beat the cat, and everyone was just about to commit suicide, Ric Flair came out to save the day.
Yo.
Screamed Mean Gene like he usually does when he talks to Mean Gene. Mean Gene! Mean Gene! Woo! Ric Flair, being his loud self, said that how he was gonna not only beat up Eric Bischoff, but he was gonna break his bones, make him bleed. And, yeah, his exact words were, I'm gonna put him in the figure 4 until his legs go brush. I don't know what bush means, but I guess Bischoff's legs are gonna go bush.
Damn.
Thank you.
I can't wait for his legs to go bush.
And then after that promo, we had a backstage segment of Scott Steiner and Bagwell and Buff Bagwell yelling at Conan for some reason.
God awful reason.
And they were just yelling at him. I couldn't understand the words anyone was saying except Scott Steiner. And even though I heard what he said, I still didn't understand it because it's fucking Scott Steiner. But that's why we love him.
Yes.
And then to make this segment even greater, Lex Luger came in to break up the fight, I guess. And Lex Luger had Steiner and Bagwell leave, and to the dismay of all, that would be the last we would see of Scott Steiner on this pay-per-view. And Buff Bagwell.
I miss Buff Bagwell already.
I miss both of them. What a team. And then they kicked each other in the nuts a lot. Should have kicked Lex Luger in the nuts.
Damn right.
Fuck him. I'm gonna be getting his book for Christmas.
Oh, so much for fuck him.
Well, I'm gonna see, how he feels about himself, and... His book is called Wrestling with the Devil, so I want to see what he's...
Gotta say.
Yeah. He's living in a wheelchair now. And now, yeah, he said that he knows that he was a jackass back then, and that he wishes he could go back and fix stuff. So at least he's not an asshole who just thinks that he was...
right.
Yeah. At least he's looked back on his life. Alright, but then to make things... What the fuck? Laying in a very weird position. And then to just make things go even worse... We had Brian fucking Adams
oh my God.
and Scott Norton come out for a tag match. And to make things better, better, those two pieces of shit were accompanied to the ring by Vincent, otherwise known as Virgil.
The biggest piece of shit there is.
Oh, fuck Bryan Adams.
Fuck Virgil.
Fuck Scott Norton. And then their opponents were Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn. Not Lynn. He's too big for this match. Jerry Flynn.
We got Jerry Flynn and Fit Finlay versus Bryan Adams and Scott Norton, and Vince is there. And this is, I think, where I legit closed my eyes and started dozing off.
Dozy doing. Jerry Flynn is about 6'4", big guy, very hairy chest, very generic face.
Yes.
He wore kung fu pants, I guess. He's a shitty combination of Nathan Jones and Steve Blackman.
Yes.
And they had a match, nothing really to talk about. Jerry Flynn kicked Virgil, and then
Well, I think everyone would have kicked Virgil.
I would have kicked Virgil. Fit Finlay was good in this match, but that's not that hard to believe because it's Fit Finlay. Finlay, the one highlight of this match.
Yep.
Jerry Flynn kicked Virgil. Scott Norton pinned Jerry Flynn with a powerbomb right after. So, there was that match. Everyone involved except Finlay. Fuck them.
Yeah. And fuck their careers.
They all had shitty careers. Fit Finlay had the best career out of all of them.
Which is amazing.
It is. Good for Fit Finlay. I like Fit Finlay.
I
don't know why I'm not just calling him Finlay anymore. I like Finlay.
like him too.
I miss when he was in J&J.
Yeah. He showed up for that one night and was like, holy shit. It's Finlay. And then he just left and everyone's like, holy shit, what happened to Finlay?
Well, they couldn't be J&J with Finlay.
Yeah. JFJ.
JFK. Oh.
Ooh.
Finlay, Jamie Noble, and Kane. JFK.
Yep.
Alright. See how much better it is when we just don't talk about WCW when we have fun with Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury and Finlay and Kane.
Yep.
I can't wait to review these WWE pay-per-views. But what makes things better than an NWO-filled match when Eric Bischoff comes out for an interview? Eric Bischoff, Eazy-E, the maker of the NWO, the NWA.
And all things right in the world.
Yep.
Bischoff, my homeboy Eazy-E, he's still in my fave 5.
Bischoff came out. Thank you, Booker T. I'm gonna go save a McDonald's. It's like, like how we both did the head taunt. Bischoff said that he was gonna beat Ric Flair. Ric Flair had never saved a penny in the 104 years he has been wrestling. Taking a shoot that Ric Flair really does not know how to save money.
And Ric Flair's old as fuck.
Yes. Then he also said that he beat up Flair's kids, that the Flairs have bad hearts. And that he kissed Ric's wife. Luckily, no Flair family member would be brought up in a promo again in wrestling.
Yeah. Wait. I just want to say something about this that really threw me off.
Alright.
Eric Bischoff just, went out there and said the fact that all the Flairs are weak-hearted and that they have no courage, that they can't win a fight.
You could say they have no fight left in them.
Yes, that you can have no fight left in them. Let's fast forward to 2015, and let's go back to that main event. Well, it wasn't really a main event.
It was a main event of Raw.
It was the main event of Raw. That promo, Paige, looking dead in Charlotte's eyes, saying, well, your little brother had no fight left in him. She's just basically sided with Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff and Charlotte both saying that
Charlotte?
Paige, whatever. Paige saying that the Flair family is awful. And, yes.
Yes.
I like Ric Flair. David was David.
I like David.
Yes, he was entertaining. He had an awesome Titantron in WWE.
Yes, he did.
Reed, I was about to say, was in that ladder match with Eddie and Ray, but that was not the child involved in that custody match.
It wasn't?
Nope.
He would probably be more safe nowadays if he was in that custody match.
Probably. Would have been a Guerrero. Aiden English is a Guerrero.
A
Guerrero in law.
He actually wouldn't be a Guerrero because Eddie did not win that match.
Shit, he'd be a Mysterio.
Yeah.
That's not good.
What do you mean that's not good? That's still better than being a Flair, apparently.
I guess so. But, then after that promo, we had a video package of, Chris Jericho beating up a guy dressed up as Conan.
It wasn't actually Conan?
No.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. It was good enough for me.
Then we had the TV title, Conan taking on Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho thankfully had Ralphus
Yes.
Chris Jericho taking shots at Conan, saying that he must not be hip because Chris Jericho does not know what rowdy or bowdy means. At which point I thought to myself, I must not be hip because I don't know what these are. I kept saying Piper after the end. Rowdy Piper and bowdy Piper.
Well, if you don't know, Rowdy is, fuck. Well, I'm not hip either.
I know our truth said we get Rowdy when he teamed with Road Dogg. Yes.
When he teamed with Piper.
Yes. Thankfully, Ralphus was out there wearing his half shirt. Chris Jericho said all fat people need to get a fashion sense like Ralphus.
Yep.
To which point, Jordan began to pull up his shirt.
Yep, I believe that we should all dress up like Ralphus. As I just move around for a second.
Shaking the entire bed.
Yes.
Well, not bed.
The
couch.
studio.
Yes, the studio couch.
The casting couch.
Casting couch. Ooh.
I love how that's actually, that's a porn reference right there. That's in the, that's in all the games you can create a finisher in. It's one of the preset names for it. You can call it the casting couch.
Ah.
I thought that was really hilarious.
Alright.
So
moving on from porn, we get something just as good as porn. Conan.
Yeah, Conan. Woo!
Conan came out and said, "Hey Jericho, I'm Rowdy, you're Bowdy. Tonight we're gonna get flowdy, gowdy.
Tonight we're gonna party away.
If you feel the need, and put your hands up." And Lance Storm came out and danced, which we all were excited for. Chris Jericho and Conan had a good match. There was a weird spot where Jericho, for some unknown reason, the steps were behind Conan for some reason on the outside, and then Jericho did that move where he sprang forward onto the outside and he landed on the steps.
It was a spot that scared the shit out of me.
It was the most easily set up spot. You're wondering why they're moving the steps there, and then you see it's like, oh, yeah. But they had a good match. Conan won with the Tequila Sunrise. It was alright. No real highlight, just a good match.
Is that what the fuck that move's called?
Yeah, the Tequila Sunrise.
Why?
He's Mexican. Tequila.
Oh.
I guess they watch sunrises. I don't know.
They drink tequila and watch their sunrises. I don't know what the fuck is the actual reason they calls it that.
I do not know what this accent was that you were doing.
I don't know either.
I was just trying to Kofi Kingston, man.
You shut up.
Okay, then we had Eric Bischoff versus Ric Flair.
And probably easily the match of the night.
The greatest match of the night. Where the match started with Eric Bischoff ran away.
No, let's say this. I called it. I called my fucking shot when I seen this match. I sat there and said, I give you 3 minutes. 3 fucking minutes to the match until Flair looks at us and he's covered in blood. I called it. Now go on to the fucking review. Pissed off now.
Alright, so the match started with Eric Bischoff running out of the ring. Flair chased him. Flair caught up to him and started to beat him up, as you would expect. Flair continued to beat him up, threw him back in the ring, threw him back out the ring. And Flair was just dominating Bischoff for about a good 2 minutes until Bischoff threw him into the turnbuckle, which at point Flair bladed.
Flair bladed within 2 minutes of the fucking match. Even worse. I think there was a near fall that Flair kicked out of, that Bischoff kicked out of, and Flair got thrown on top of Charles Robinson.
You're thinking of 2 different ref bumps.
Okay, there was 2 ref bumps in this match though, right?
No, there's only one. You're thinking of a ref bump in a later match.
Oh, fuck.
But what had happened was, to make this match even better, a man who has no wrestling experience, despite the fact that he is a martial artist, but still, they were booking a man who has no wrestling experience to beat up, in a fair fight, a 16-time world champion. 13 at that time. We had a man who, I think this was his first real match, was beating up a guy who had won 13 world titles.
Yeah.
Yep, that made Flair look good. But then Flair started fighting back. There was a spot at the end of the match. This match was just mainly stiff chops, really, from Flair. Not really much else from Flair. A knee drop a couple times, I guess. Flair
giving some stiffies over to Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff having a few stiffies of his own.
Yep.
So, the finish was Bischoff was in the corner and Flair was throwing punches at him. And Charles tried to stop Flair, and Flair backhanded little Nate. Fucking pissed me off.
Yeah, Flair backhanded the shit out of Charles Robinson, and it was easily probably the worst thing I've ever witnessed in my life.
Yeah, that's like...
It was scary.
They say never meet your heroes, where Charles met his and he got backhanded for it.
Oh my God.
Then Ric Flair, while the ref was down, had Eric Bischoff in the figure 4, and then out in the bluest suit he could find came running Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Who handed Eric Bischoff the biggest brass knucks I have seen in my life.
It looked like they were fucking fake and made out of cardboard.
Probably were. They were ginormous. The ones that William Regal pulled out all the time were just so small you could barely see them. These ones took up the entire screen.
They were fucking huge.
They were unbelievably huge. I don't fucking know. He punched Ric Flair in the head with the brass knucks and then pinned Ric Flair for this 3 count.
Thank God Flair didn't blade then, because, that would have made sense.
Well, I guess getting thrown to a turnbuckle.
Oh.
That's steel.
But it's the padding on it. There's padding on it.
It's still steel.
I don't think everyone blades open from...
I think Brock Lesnar legit got busted open by the turnbuckle at his match with Roman Reigns.
I have to review.
You have to review it.
We have to review just that match.
It was a good match, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I did like that Roman Reigns. I'm not a Roman Reigns hater. I liked his match with Brock.
Oh gosh, we're putting this on an interview, and you just sat there and said you don't hate Roman Reigns.
I don't hate Roman Reigns. I think he's talented.
I do too, but god damn it, we're gonna piss a lot of people off. Oh fucking well.
His match with Brock Lesnar was a very good stiff hitting match.
It was a good stiffy match. It gave Brock Lesnar had a stiffy.
Paul Heyman had a stiffy. Seth Rollins had a stiffy.
Oh, Seth had a big stiffy.
Steph had the biggest stiffy. Alright. Oh, this was a great first video talking about these guys' stiffies. What came after this?
I'm sorry, but did I ever tell you there's a video, and it's a clip. It's on Botchamania, and it's of AJ Styles talking at his local church, because AJ's a God-fearing man of the people, and AJ's describing what happened to him, and he's describing how he lets his anger go. And he's talking, and he's describing how he got his first hard shot, how he got his first potato, his first stiffy, but that's what they call it. So AJ's talking to the people of the church, and he's like, "Yeah, that's when I had my first stiffy," and everyone just starts staring at him and laughing, and he's like, "What? Oh." AJ has had the biggest
he said you people got sick mind.
Yeah,
I saw that. It was funny.
And trying to describe to his church how he had his first stiffy.
In his church, those God people just laughed.
Those God people. Those Godwins.
Oh, the Godwins.
What are we talking about? Mr. Perfect in his blue fucking suit.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect showing up as blue as he could tonight.
At least he wasn't showing up green.
Yes, Mr. Perfect managed Ric Flair in WWE, and now turned on Ric Flair.
Yeah, it was a shocking moment for everyone.
Oh, it was.
Except for me. Or you.
Oh.
Or the millions of people watching this.
Was this the last match we watched before we went to bed, or did we watch this match this morning?
We watched this match this morning.
Alright. And after Bischoff won, we had a promo package for DDP versus the Giant. Actually, a pretty good promo package. It was done pretty well. Bret Hart was a cripple.
Who was walking perfectly fine.
Yeah, that one to you. Bret Hart was in a promo package. They showed DDP defending the U.S. title, and he was going to fight Bret Hart. And Bret Hart, I guess, had some leg issue, and Bret Hart said, fine, if you really want to take on a cripple, if you're that kind of man, DDP being that kind of man, said yes. And then Bret Hart, the fucking cripple, beat the shit out of DDP.
No, first Bret Hart's like, if you want to fight a cripple, make it a no disqualification match, which makes no fucking sense. If you're crippled, and you're making the match no disqualification, that means he has a more chance to beat the shit out of you with more different things. I mean, you're crippled. You can't really defend. You would want the rope breaks and the disqualification so you can have a chance.
Yeah.
No. Bret Hart's like, fuck it, I'm crippled. Didn't he do the same thing with McMahon at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but, yeah, when he pretended to be, hit
crippled
by a call. Yeah, but he pretended to be. The storyline was that he was actually crippled in WCW. But, in WWE, they made sure that, he was just pretending to be. Crippled when he really wasn't in WCW.
Well, either way, he wasn't crippled in both of them. So, fucking, he was pretending in both of them.
Yeah. But, in one he was supposed to be pretending, and one he was, pretending, but it was supposed to seem real.
In both he was pretending it was supposed to seem real. It wouldn't make no sense if the storyline was like, hey, John, guess what? I'm really not crippled, but the man doesn't fucking know. Ha 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 ha! I'm Bret Hart.
All right. No, but the story was, in the WWE one, that he eventually revealed that he was not crippled. In the WCW one, it was revealed that he was actually injured the entire time. So, like, it's different, I guess. Because the story one was that he was faking.
How the fuck is he crippled in the one that happened way before, but he's not crippled now? In the one that happened, like,
because in the WWE one, he got crippled because he got hit by a car.
So, what I'm figuring out is that Bret Hart was actually injured all the time, but he got better after the WCW program. And then when he did the WWE program, he was just fucking 100% healthy, then he got crippled again.
Bret Hart's career was ended by one of the men on that poster.
I honestly don't fucking know. It could be any of them.
It was Goldberg.
Oh my fucking god, it's Goldberg.
He gave him a stiff super kick, and it gave Bret like a serious concussion.
Fucking Goldberg gotta ruin everything.
But then Bret came back for his one match against McMahon. But Bret couldn't really do anything, so that's why all the Hart family members came out and helped beat up McMahon.
Well, we just spoiled anyone that wanted to watch that fucking pay-per-view. I mean, it was like WrestleMania 26 or...
Yeah, 26. And this is 1998.
So fuck.
I don't fucking care. Where were we? So the promo package, DDP...
DDP Big Show.
No, yes. DDP was wrestling
DDP
Bret.
Giant.
Yes. Don't worry, in my notes I kept switching back and forth between Big Show and the Giant. I wrote Show and I wrote the Giant. So, DDP was about to beat Bret. The Giant ran out and helped Bret win. Gave him 2 chokeslams, one normal one from the top rope. The super chokeslam. Bret won the title. DDP was like, rawr. Big Show was like, rawr. And they had a fight.
So good.
It was a good match for DDP and the Big Show. It was a nice little story of DDP never giving up, never looked like losing, and he kept fighting back no matter what the Big Show did. What?
DDP never giving up, never go.
I'm sorry, I was drowning.
Alright.
Bret Hart came down. He went to hit DDP with a chair. Actually, before that, they brawled to the outside. DDP hit the Giant with a trash can in front of the ref. There was no EQ.
Yeah.
And then this was a match that you were thinking of, which was the ref spot was that DDP went to pin the Giant. And Big Show did this cool Big Show kick out, which is where he froze people. And he threw the DDP, and DDP landed on the referee, and that was the ref spot. And
then the ref bladed, though. Right?
No.
There's a ref blading, I thought.
No, there was no.
Well, I thought the fucking ref... It was the way he... Oh, you know what it was? It was his positioning of his arms, how it was right next to his fucking head, and how dark it was on his shadow, it looked like the ref was blading. So I was like, what the fuck? Why did the ref just blade from that bump?
So, it was a very good match. The Giant kept dropping DDP on his ribs, which only helped out DDP's ribs. Yes, Jordan will not believe that DDP has a lot of taped ribs.
I've never seen...
I sent you a picture.
I've never seen live in front of me.
How could it be live?
Shut the fuck up. Eat a dick. I've never seen with my own eyes on a screen that I'm looking at from WCW themselves, DDP and taped ribs. So I will never believe that DDP has had his ribs taped.
It was a nice match. Just ignoring him. Big Show hit a chokeslam, DDP kicked out. DDP would keep going for the diamond cutter, and Big Show would keep throwing him off. Bret Hart came out when the ref bump happened. Bret went to hit DDP, and much like the Ernest the Cat Miller Sonny Ono spot, DDP moved, and Bret hit the Giant with a painful-looking chair shot to the head.
Yeah, it shocked the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck was that? The sound really was like a gunshot.
Yeah, it sounded like a bullet just hit Big Show.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yep, and then DDP low blow the Giant, and he did a bunch of clotheslines from the top rope. He did 2 of them. He went for a third one. Big Show caught him like in a choke slam, and he put DDP on the top rope like he was gonna choke slam.
Do a super chick.
Super chick.
Super kick. Super choke slam.
A super choke slam. And then he went to do DDP for the super chokeslam, and DDP turned it into the diamond cutter. And DDP won the match, which got Jordan upset.
Was I upset?
Yeah.
Oh.
You said that you don't even like DDP.
Oh. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, DDP is a good wrestler. I'm like, don't get me wrong, DDP is a great wrestler, but I've never seen him as a big fucking deal.
Well, that's because WWE never had him as a big deal.
They
brought him in as a stalker.
Doesn't mean I have to believe everything WWE says. My big deals are fucking...
He was a big deal in WCW.
Well, fuck if I thought... I didn't think he was a big deal in WCW.
He was.
Doesn't mean I have to think he's a big deal.
Well, you don't have to.
Alright then, so let me fucking be.
Well, you can't convince me that he wasn't a big deal, because I do think he was a big deal. He was the one good guy, along with Goldberg, that was really against the NWO that never joined. I got Sting too, but Sting eventually joined the Wolfpack, so fuck Sting.
Fuck Sting!
Sting wasn't even on this show, this shit.
Fucking Sting had to fly away like a crow. Oh.
Alright, so then the main event, WCW title and a streak on the line, Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. And
never thought this fucking thing would happen.
I must have gotten bored, because the only note I wrote for this match is that the arena got very smoky. Like for the entrances.
Oh yeah, with all their fucking pyro and shit.
Yep, so there was smoke everywhere. I'm gonna have to improvise what happened to the top of my head for this match.
I fucking remember this match a lot.
It was a Goldberg-Kevin Nash match.
It was fucking... I liked it, only because my favorite thing in WCW is in there, and that's Kevin fucking Nash.
And my favorite thing in WCW was Scott Hall.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
No, Scott Steiner, actually, didn't it, Scott Hall?
Scott Hall did not show up in this match one bit.
Well,
Unless we keep going down the fucking review. So
I don't really remember this match, but you said you do, so tell us about the match.
So it started off like Goldberg would with Kevin Nash. There was a bit of a stare down in the beginning, and then they kind of got into a lockup for a bit.
Oh.
And there was a lot of transitional moves going on, some wrestles, but a lot of shit started to break down when it seems like Goldberg was starting to get the best of Nash.
Wow, your favorite thing in WCW can't even remember his name.
You want to fucking die? Anyway, I just gotta sit there and look.
I'm waiting for you to continue this review of this match.
Alright, fucker.
God.
Fuck! So, of course, the NWO, Nash being the leader of the Wolfpack, the NWO had to come out. Wolfpack, not Black and White, because fuck Black and White. So...
Only one member of the Wolfpack came out, and it was Disco Inferno.
No,
Bam Bam Bigelow wasn't in the Wolfpack. He just came out because he's Bam Bam Bigelow.
Pretty damn much.
So Disco Inferno came out, Goldberg beat him up.
Oh, now you want to do the review.
Well, I remember from this part. Bam Bam Bigelow came out, Goldberg beat him up. Scott Hall came out, tased Goldberg.
Yeah, Scott Hall came out dressed up as a security in one of the most influential scenes ever in WCW.
Yep. And then, if you haven't watched this match, they always make the streak breaking sound like it was the worst idea ever, and oh my god, it was so bad. But if you listen to the crowd, they were fucking hyped for Goldberg losing.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of fucking NWO Wolfpack fans in the crowd.
They went insane for when Nash pinned Goldberg. Nash hit the jackknife, won the match. Scott Hall, what the fuck are you putting a submission on my pillow for?
You fucking guillotine choke. No.
So Scott Hall helped Goldberg lose the title.
I thought you were going to say Scott Hall helped Goldberg win.
No, I was about to say, but I was able to change it. Scott Hall helped Kevin Nash win the title. The streak is over. 173 wins, allegedly, even though there wasn't really 173 wins.
Yeah.
You want to hear a fun fact while talking about WCW?
Fine.
Back when I went to Berger Middle School, in the library, there was a WCW book.
Why the fuck would there ever be one?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, I don't want to fucking know that the WCW book exists in our fucking world.
I liked the book.
Oh, fuck yeah, you would.
And I kept looking at it. And I eventually wanted it. So eventually, I stole it. Yeah. I stole a WCW book from Berger Middle School.
Why the fuck would you just...
But I gave it back at the end of the year.
I stole the book from middle school, and it was a WCW book.
I liked it. It gave me information about like Alex Wright.
Why the fuck?
It was like the it was like the WWE encyclopedia, but it was one for WCW.
And oh, what little did they have to go off of?
Not a lot, actually.
Yeah, I said what little.
It told me like about Scott Norton's career, and told me about how Bryan Adams came to be. At which point I didn't care anymore, and I realized how much this book sucked. But it had a nice article on Kevin Nash.
Oh, well, fucking it better.
It had
better.
like 2 pages for Scott Steiner.
Damn.
I was excited for that. Even talk about Tank Abbott and 3 count.
Sing along with 3 count.
So overall, this pay-per-view was mediocre pay-per-view. The openers, 2 openers were...
The 2 openers were good. Great, yeah.
Yes.
I'll say even the Jericho Conan match was pretty damn good.
Where's the match? I wrote down the matches. We're going to do the review on 1 out of 5 stars.
Alright.
Mine is 5 stars. No, we're not. Right, fucking Alvarez. Alright. Let's see. Opener, Cruiserweight title. Not Barry Windham. Billy Kidman.
Barry Windham.
Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, and Juventud Guerrera. I will give it a 3.5 star match.
I was gonna say, you know what? I think it was a good match for Hoovy being in there and what it was. I'll give it a 3 stars.
Then the Cruiserweight title, Billy Kidman and Eddie Guerrero. It was a great match, but Billy Kidman was tired from his 15-minute opener, but he still put on a great match. I don't think it was as good as the opener, so I'll give it a 3 star.
Yeah, average 3. It's average to good for me when it comes to like 3 stars.
Norman Smiley versus Prince Iaukea. I'll give that a 1 star. That was not good.
I still think it was a good performance from Norman Smiley. I'll give it a 2.
I can give it a 1.5-ish. I don't know. It wasn't that good. The Cat versus Perry Saturn. Again, I'm sticking about the 1.5-ish to 2. It was.
I'll give it a 1.5 on this one.
Brian Adams and Scott Norton versus Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn. That is lucky to get that 1 star it's getting.
I'll give it only because I think it wasn't the best, but it was some average tag team action. It wasn't fucking like botches left and right, so it will definitely get a 2 star from me.
Conan versus Chris Jericho is pretty good. I'll give it a 2.5 star.
Really?
Yeah. I'll
give it 3.5.
I don't think it was that good.
I never said it was amazing.
Well, 3.5 is pretty.
It's pretty up there. Out of everything else on the card, it's fucking good.
I'm comparing it to actual matches, not just stuff on the card. Like, if you look at it on just quality of matches on the card, then yeah. But if you look at it like wrestling matches as a whole, it's not like one of the greatest matches of all time.
Well, no, it's not. But I'm taking it into consideration this time period where Jericho is already on the verge of just like not wanting to be there anymore.
He's about to leave him like soon.
Yeah, he's about to leave in like a couple months. And Conan, for what it was and the fact that the title was online, and it's WCW we're talking about here. 3.5 seems.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my 2.5. I'm not gonna give it like extra thing just because it's WCW. Yeah.
I'm not giving it extra because it's WCW. I'm giving it extra because Jericho put on a good match with Conan.
Yeah, but man, wasn't that great. But it was better than most matches.
Yeah.
Ric Flair versus Eric Bischoff.
Gets a fucking fuck.
And in terms of story, it was a good story because Flair was pissed off at Bischoff.
Yeah.
But the match itself was not that good.
So are we rating this off of the good story of it or the match?
Well, it all goes into it overall. Because storytelling goes into a match.
Yeah.
So I think the storytelling
was good.
The storytelling is really the only part of this match that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Which brought it to about 1.5 star.
I was going to say 2.
Alright. DDP versus a Giant. I like this match. I did like this match. I'm going to give this a 3 star. Because, I don't know, I feel like I like this match more than I should.
2.5.
But I found this match very entertaining.
2.5.
Alright. And then the main event of Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. That was a good toss.
Yeah, it was.
Goldberg versus Kevin Nash.
It's the end of the streak. Da-da-da-da. Bullshit left and right. It's fucking... There was no, like, memorable spots.
That was a taser.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the match itself isn't that memorable. I didn't even remember until now that Disco Inferno and Bam Bam Bigelow
ran in.
Yeah. I never actually knew that because I never actually watched the entire match. I just always watched the taser part.
And fucking Goldberg fucking convulsing like a rabid bear.
Yeah. It's better than how TNA does. Fucking
Tasers.
When they tased like Steven Richards and Abyss, and both of them almost went up in flames, and there was smoke and fucking explosions all over their chest.
Yep.
I don't think TNA ever watched the cops. I saw how shows work. Oh, tasers.
How shows work. TNA needs to learn their shit. They don't know how fucking even just TV shows work.
They don't.
They can't make a good one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. I'll give this a fucking 3.5. Maybe a 4. I don't know. 3.5.
I'd stick around. I'd be tough on this WCW pay-per-view. I'm giving this around a 2.5.
Holy shit.
It wasn't a good match. It was a taser. You know what? Fine. I'll give
But think about it. Goldberg's at 173-0. Everyone's like, this motherfucker's unstoppable. And fucking Scott Hall, who just Scott Hall, who just was complaining earlier tonight, just comes out of nowhere dressed up as fucking security and shoots the motherfucker right in the chest.
That sounds better than how it actually played out, though.
Yeah, it does. Let me fucking write this shit.
So it was an average WCW pay-per-view.
So much for the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, they did say this was the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, it's Starrcade 98, and it was a fucking just average pay-per-view.
The granddaddy of it all had a Jerry Flynn and fucking Scott Norton match.
Yeah, now that you think about this was the granddaddy of them all, and this is the best you can fucking do.
Yeah.
That just came to my mind right now. Holy fucking shit. Re-reviewing this motherfucker. Wait a minute. This is a great idea mall. And they have Norman Smiley versus Prince Iakea.
We're gonna re-review this.
Fuck this. Wait.
Very quickly. I'm gonna look up the roster from 98 and see.
This is a piece of shit.
I'm gonna see who's.
I'm pissed off now.
Hold on.
No.
I'm looking up the roster from 98. Fuck you.
This is bullshit!
I said I was going to be tough on this pay-per-view. I knew what this pay-per-view was.
I didn't! I didn't! It just came in my head right now. This is a granddaddy of them all. This is the biggest pay-per-view of all time. This is Starrcade, motherfucker. And this is bullshit? This is bullshit!
Alright. Okay.
All you have to do is remind me that this is the biggest pay-per-view that you're supposed to put on. I'm about to get pissed.
Okay, I saw a poster for Starrcade 98, and it was Goldberg's. And it said, "Who's next?" But I read it as "Who's sexy?"
Who's big sexy? Me.
Okay, let's see. Who did I have on their roster in 98? It said the biggest roster ever. So let's see who they have. They had Hollywood Hogan, Goldberg, DDP, Bret Hart, Sting, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, Mongo, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell, the Giant. Batman Bigelow, Scott Norton, Lex Luger, Chris Jericho, Conan, Rey Mysterio, Raven, Canyon, The Cat, Disco Inferno, Alex Wright, Tokyo Magana, The Disciple, Vincent, Bryan Adams, Stevie Ray, Horace, Lodi, Eddie, Chavo, Booker, Saturn, Wrath, Kurt Hennig, Barry Windham, Billy Kidman, Juventud, Super Calo, Liz Mark Jr., La Parka, Psychosis, El Dandy, Silver King. La Parka. He could have danced with a chair.
Yeah.
Psychosis, Silver King, Villano 6, Villano 5, Evan Courageous, Johnny Swinger, Mang, Hammer, Brad Armstrong, Scott Armstrong, Steve Armstrong.
All these Armstrongs.
But not Road Dogg. Bobby Duncombe Jr., Kenny Chaos, Robbie Rage, Bobby Eaton, Bobby Blaze, Chris Adams, Roman Smiley, Prince Ikeda, Scott Putski, Barry Darras, Finlay, Barry Horowitz.
Wait a minute. Scroll back up to the top, because I'm pretty sure,
on the top.
Yeah, 90% of the main eventers you just said didn't even play a role in this fucking paper.
Well, they may have not been active at the time.
I'm sorry, Hogan was not active at this time?
Well, I meant he could have been injured or something.
So, your biggest show of all, maybe it's meant to be fucking Goldberg versus Hogan.
What month is,
December.
Damn it, I found, for February of 98, but I can't find December of 98. That's actually pretty cool. It gave me their,
The month?
Yeah. But the thing is that they had a big fucking roster
of main eventers and guys that they could have all used for this, but we get fucking Norman Smiley versus Prince Iakea in your fucking biggest pay-per-view of all time? Hold up. This just pissed me off.
Are you viewing this show differently now?
No, I'm viewing this show a whole lot fucking differently. Every match gets fucking 1 star.
Really?
No, but fucking God.
Yeah, it was not a good pay-per-view.
For your biggest pay-per-view of all time, this is what you give us? Norman Smiley versus Prince IK. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand you need fucking, like, mid-card matches and shit. And Norman Smiley can put on a great match.
Let's also look at the fact that even though he's not a good wrestler, he was a big star. But Lex Luger, Buff Bagwell, and Scott Steiner were all at the show.
Yes, but none of them had matches.
Yeah. They all could have...
Bam Bam didn't even have a match.
No, Bam Bam didn't have a match. Scott Hall didn't have a match. Tonight could have been like... He said 99 would have been his year, so...
Why didn't you start right there?
Well, I guess since it's still 98, but fucking, come on, Scott Hall.
All of those pay-per-views just pissed me the fuck off.
They have Scott Hall, they have Bam Bam Bigelow, they have Lex Luger, Scott Steiner, and Buff Bagwell. All who could have had a match on their show. Most of them could have pretty decent matches, and then there's Lex Luger. But if Lex Luger has the right opponent, he could have a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
And, but none of them were booked, and instead... My trash just fell. But instead we get fucking Prince Iaukea versus fucking Norman Smiley and Perry Saturn versus Ernest Miller. Now, nothing wrong. Ernest Miller is great. Ernest Miller shouldn't have been a top mid-card in fucking WCW.
Yeah.
But at this point in his career, he wasn't as big as he would become in, like, 2000-ish. So I was right being tough on this pay-per-view.
This pay-per-view is shit. This pay-per-view is an absolute waste of my fucking time now. I'm fucking pissed off.
Look, all I read... I picked this pay-per-view randomly. All I read was Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. And I thought, oh boy, this could be good. And boy, was it not. Any last thoughts on Starrcade 98?
I'm working Friday night. Other than that, fuck this goddamn piece of shit. Oh, I can't even speak right now. It pissed me off.
I too work Friday night, but that's not the main point. Well, at least now they know we have jobs. But, yeah, Starrcade 98, not a good show. It had two really good matches. The good match was Jericho and Conan and Giant and DDP, but not good show.
Call that fucking Nitro hotline. Tell me we want our fucking money back.
Well, we're spending money to tell them we want our money.
I don't give a fuck. You want to fucking spend a minute on $1.65 a minute, just to fucking talk about goddamn beautiful old WCW.
I want to talk about goddamn beautiful old Mean Gene Okerlund.
Oh.
Well, this was a bad first pay-per-view to review. Nothing that really got us happy from the show.
I just went 0 to 100. I was lenient on you fuckers at first, and I realized this was Starrcade.
We should have watched around 2000 when we could have had the Natural Born Thrillers and 2000 Ernest Miller.
Yeah, or at least fucking 3 Count. 3 Count was amazing.
And Tank Abbott.
Scott
Steiner was doing his Maniac gimmick in 2000. When did we watch a 2000? Okay, the next WCW paper we watch will be around the 2000.
We're jumping 2 years in the future, motherfucker.
Woo! I'm Andrew. This is Jordan. This has been our first review. This pay-per-view sucked. Good night.